100 years ago this month, the crew of the Titanic sent a distress call after hitting an iceberg. What many people don't know is a small weather station on Hatteras Island received that message.
The record of that is now on display, but it's the path to the museum that's almost as amazing as what we were discussing. 10 on your side's Walter Hildebrand explains.
For ages, the Outer Banks has had a front row seat to the graveyard of the Atlantic.
There's some 4,000 shipwrecks off the coast here.
So it seemed only natural that one of the most famous shipwrecks of all, the Titanic, has a tie to the Carolina coast.
We were one of the first to receive the distress call, and what more appropriate place could you find than the graveyard of the Atlantic?
And that's just where you'll find it, at the graveyard of the Atlantic Museum.
It is amazing that it's still legible.
The years have taken its toll on this logbook entry, but you can make out Titanic and struck iceberg. But the fact that this document even made it here is simply amazing.
It's the only remaining station log from that crash.
It was discovered when they were renovating the museum. It was inside the walls.
A museum today, but around 1912 the building looked like this. The paper, along with hundreds of others, were used as insulation, and that's where it sat, in the walls for almost a century. It wasn't until 2005, when the building was being renovated, that they made the discovery. Not thought of as anything special at the time, it sat around for 7 years in a file.
I remember several times I had this document, in my desk drawer. I had stuck it in there, say, I'll get it down to the museum storage building later,
But this year,
we decided, hey, the 100th anniversary is coming up. Maybe we should put this on display.
There are people who have been very happy to see it. A lot of people didn't know it existed.
And since it's been here, it's received some interest.
We have received calls from the National Archives, the Library of Congress. I think the most exciting part is, we found this document. It's related to the Titanic, but I think it's a part of the history that North Carolina didn't realize, that it has a tie to the Titanic.
Or that when the Titanic cried out, the Outer Banks was listening. In Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, Walter Hildebrand, 10 on your side.
That is so cool.
It just sat around for that long
Yeah.
until this year. That's what just blows me away. The document, though, will be on display at the graveyard of the Atlantic Museum until May 31st.
And after that, it will eventually make its way to the National Archives, but its future home will be North Carolina.